like, oh, JINWOO, you've gotten taller, or he definitely looks different from when I met him, and then they just go right by it. I'm like, nobody's gonna be like, hey, are you good?
Do I have your permission to kill every beast in here?
Hello, all you beautiful, wonderful anime fans, Shelby here, and today we are doing another episode of Anime Simp Hour. This one, if you all guessed correctly, you probably did, honestly. I'm struggling to come up with, like, I don't want to give them too complicated, but then I also want you all to know, but then also think about it. I'm sure as I do this, I'll get better at it, but if you guessed the next anime character, guy, topic, man, I don't know, details. If you guessed JINWOO song, then you are correct. Obviously, I feel like that quote is such a, like, iconic moment for him, so obviously y'all probably knew, but you know what? Oh, well. It was either that or Arise, and I was like, that one is obviously gonna be too fucking obvious. I was like, if I said Arise, that's just gonna be too clear. So at least the other one, hopefully it was a little bit of a challenge for you all. I don't know. But hopefully it was a little bit of a challenge. Just a little bit. Or you can just make me feel better and say it was a little challenging even though it wasn't. You could just make me feel better. Deep, deep, deep. So I am really enjoying doing these videos. I hope you guys are enjoying them. I have no idea. By the time I'm recording this, I haven't even posted any of them yet, so, you know, I don't know. I am having so much fun making them. I love coming up with, like, the topics to discuss of the character. I'm currently using a notebook and writing down, like, topics and stuff. This is what JINWOO's looks like right now. You wanna see it? And then I have some on the back, too, as well. But I just put topics. This is not like a script. It's just stuff to talk about with you guys. So I remember specific things while I'm talking. So this is not a script. I just have, like, topics to discuss. Or I just have topics to discuss on there, and then I just kind of go. I'll see, like, okay, talk about this, and then I just go. But I don't want to have a script. I don't want to be one of those people that have, like, a script for every single thing. Because I like it feeling genuine. And I also feel like if I had a script, I think I would try to stick to it to a T, and it's hard for me to want to do that. I like having something like a topic list to talk about, and then just actually interact with you guys. It feels more like, I don't know, it feels more like we're sitting here in a coffee shop and we're chilling. And I'm like, hey, we should talk about this character, and then we jump right into it. Like, we should talk about JINWOO, let's go. And then here's all the things we talk about. This is what I want this kind of series thing to feel. I want it to feel like you guys are hanging out with a friend. I'm not a YouTuber, I'm not any of that. We're just chilling here yapping. That's what I want this to feel like. You're talking to a friend at a coffee shop, and we're vibing. That's what I want. So, I hope you all want that too, because I am having a lot of fun making these videos, and I do enjoy reacting, but I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot. And it just takes a lot of just everything out of me to do, and I get so behind in shows, and I can't be like other reactors and watch it as something is coming out. I can't do that because I have a full-time job. And so it's very hard for me to do that. I love talking about anime characters and coming up with theories and things of like, oh, like this happened, maybe it's because of this, or whatever, and talking about how hot some of the characters are. So, you know, that's why it's called Anime Simp Hour. However, if I discuss a character that is not quite of age, we're not going to talk about if they're hot or not. That is not a conversation we're going to have. I'm not going to be like, oh, this character who is however age is attractive. No, we're not going to do that. We'll talk about like that character specifically and talk about like maybe backstory, or like say we talked about Bakugo. I'm not going to say Bakugo is attractive. That's not what I'm going to say. We're just going to talk about other things about Bakugo. So even though it's called Anime Simp Hour, there are going to be some characters where that line is not going to be crossed. Just because I don't want that. I don't want that. So if you see, like, I do a video about Bakugo, and I don't say anything about that, but it's still called Anime Simp Hour, just know it's for a reason. Because I also want to talk about the characters themselves, like their backstories, their like, you know, like their deeper things into them instead of that. So we are gonna have some characters who are like the age of Bakugo or Deku, just because some of them have very deep backstories to talk about. So it's like, of course we're gonna have that conversation. So just, you know, keep that in mind. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. So, anyway, I'm yapping too much. If you want, this is gonna have its own, like, playlist on my YouTube. It's gonna be called Anime Simp Hour. Once my first video comes out, I'll make the playlist, and you all can go there and see previous ones I've done. Currently with JINWOO, I think I'm almost done with, I think JINWOO was the last one for October. So, you'll have a decent amount of videos to go watch and catch up on. And this is a long form. You know, my videos typically are like 14, 15 minutes because it's a reaction. So this is actually going to be like 20, maybe even 30 minutes long to kind of give you guys more. I have had some comments of like wanting to have stuff longer, but it's very hard to do that. So this also kind of gives people a little bit maybe something of what they want. So with all of my yapping, see, yapping allegations. I know. Okay, this is why we're gonna create this, so I can yap as much as I want. But anyways, if you want to watch the previous ones that I have done, I'll put a link of the playlist up here. And, you know, we're gonna get right on started with the man himself, JINWOO-san. Lego. So, JINWOO-san, right? Can we all just take a second here? The way this man starts as just, he's known as the weakest hunter of just the entire world that he lives in. That's what people call him, the weakest hunter, because he's an E rank and he's always getting hurt and just, he's there to be there. You know, and to what happened to him in the double dungeon. And then, not only does he get stronger and starts to become, not so much the weakest hunter, but maybe one of the strongest hunters. And the audacity to also give him this fucking glow up, okay? He was cute at the beginning. I thought he was cute. I was like, oh, JINWOO's so cute. Like, look at him. Look at his hair. Look how cute he is, right? And I'm just like, I beg your pardon? The episode of him revealing the glow up and how he looks and stuff, I was like, I beg your pardon? What? Hello? I was not really expecting that much of a, like, I guess glow up for him. And it makes sense. I mean, I do get it, right? He's strengthening, he's getting stronger. So as that happens, his body is going to adapt to however high his strength is. So, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, I get it. But did we have to? Did we simply have to? Because the man is hot. Okay? He goes from cute little, sweet little baby bean to holy fucking shit. Like, it is insane. I love it though. Listen, I'm here for it. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. Did we have to? Did we simply have to? The double dungeon, I feel like, was just such a crazy moment for this entire show. Like, they lose half of the party that they went in with, and JINWOO is one of the only few that figured out how it all works. So it's like, yeah, he's the weakest hunter, but damn, he's a little smart. He's very intelligent that I don't think enough people, even before Reawakening, he was very intelligent even before that. And I'm like, hello? Like, it's wild to me just how intelligent he is during all of that. Even under the pressure of what was going on around him, he was still able to, like, you know, figure all of it out. And even after losing his leg, you know, he was still, like, conscious enough to register what was going on around him still and to help with that. So it's very interesting to me to watch all of that too, because I'm gonna be entirely honest, I can get why he was angry at the one, I forgot his name, the one that just immediately was like pointing fingers and blamed the leader. Like, oh, you're the reason that we're here. This is your fault. You should go sacrifice yourself, and because of what you had done. And it's like, you all voted. He was the one who voted to go in there. He was one that literally voted to continue forward. So I'm like, you have no room to talk. That pissed me off. Honestly, I was like, I understand if JINWOO ended up hating him. Because I think I would too. Like, him specifically. Because everybody else wasn't really pointing fingers. Yeah, they got scared. And yeah, they ran away. But they were never pointing fingers. I think everybody eventually realized, like, we all took the vote. So it doesn't really matter who was the leader or not. Like, to me anyway. That part doesn't matter. What matters is what was going on in that moment. And like I was about to say. Oh no. Oh no, bro. God. Yeah, all of that is just crazy, and the fact that he ends up staying behind to sacrifice himself, and his, like, speech of, you know, not wanting to die, and how he's a hypocrite because it seemed like his life didn't matter to everybody else. And realizing, like, oh, you all didn't actually give a shit about me. Like, this didn't matter. Your own lives mattered than my own. And he was probably the youngest member, too, of that entire party. I don't actually know how old the girl is, the healer. Jean... Is it Jean how? Jean... Oh, God, I forgot her name. I am so bad with the names in Solo Leveling. I only remember a couple. I'm so bad. I'm normally pretty good at remembering names after a while, but for some reason, Solo Leveling has been a challenge for me. I don't know why. But what I'm very curious, though, is if it was somebody else who sacrificed themselves. Say the leader actually went up and sacrificed his life for everybody else. Would the same outcome have happened? Would he have had the option to have a second chance and have an awakening, or would it have not done anything? Was it only JINWOO specifically that it was drawn to, or would it have happened if it was anybody who sacrificed themselves during that moment? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I can kind of see it happening for anybody, but at the same time, the way the system is with JINWOO afterwards, it really kind of feels like it's him specifically. You know what I mean? Like, it's very torn. And maybe the manga kind of explains that. I don't read the manga. Or not the manga. What's it called in Korea? Forgot. Manhwa? Is it manhwa? I think it's manhwa. I haven't read it. And I know it's finished, so I don't fully know. Maybe they do address that. Like, oh, it would have been anybody, or oh, it was just JINWOO. I don't know. But it seems to be very tailored to him specifically. You know? So there's a part of me that kind of wonders if it was just him. It makes me feel like it's because it was JINWOO. And there's also the mention later after the raid in season 2 on the island where those things show up after the fact and are like, why would he give his power to a human? And it seems like they're talking about JINWOO. And so it really makes me feel like JINWOO was really tied into this even before Awakening. Like, he's tied to some of this or something. To me. Anyway, that's how I took that scene. My husband thinks I was just probably, like, overthinking it, which I could so be overthinking it. It was just how I feel about it. I'm like, it just felt like, to me, with the system at the beginning, giving him that option, the way the system treats him, it's like it's tailored to him. And then now these things show up and are like, oh, why did he let him have his power, a human? And it's like, heh? Heh? Like, I feel like there's something more there for some reason. And again, I know maybe, I didn't say this in the intro, but if I'm doing a character in this where the show is not completed, and it's still ongoing, I will do probably a part 2 when it is done. So, some of the things I say here might, get addressed in the part 2. So when soul leveling is done and caught up, I might do a part 2 and say, like, okay, here's what we found out type of a thing. And then we can go back to this video and see, like, what all I said, if it was right or not, We could do that. Or, and, let me know in the comments if I missed anything, if whatever. Because there is a lot, you know what I mean? So I might miss some stuff. So if I did miss something, let me know. And then when I do that part 2, I'll make sure to add it to that. I'll be like, oh, you told me I forgot about this, and you're correct. So we can talk about it. Or if there's not that many I miss, I could just do like a small short form video or something like that. So I forgot to say that in the intro. I'm doing it now. I feel like too, nobody really, there are people who mention his glow up, but everybody just really seems to just go past it. Like, I just want to take a second here because I'm like, JINWOO is like, what, 20 something? 21? So I'm like, he should not be growing anymore. I don't think. So I'm like, how did he get this glow up? And nobody really seems to be concerned about it. They'll be like, oh, JINWOO, you've gotten taller. Or he definitely looks different from when I met him. And then they just go right by it. I'm like, nobody's gonna be like, hey, are you good? Because what's happening? Like, nobody really just addresses that enough. I feel like, especially his sister. His sister, especially, I feel like, should have been like, bro, listen, what the fuck? What have you been doing? Like, what drugs are you on that has made you this? Like, it's never fully questioned. They just kind of fly by it, and I'm like, I really wanted somebody to be like, JINWOO, are you good? Like, is everything okay? Are you physically okay? Because you did not look like this literally a few days ago. Like, it's not like it happened in a matter of months. It was decently quick to the point that I'm like, it should have been questioned. Just a little. You know what I mean? Just a little. It was just very, like, slid over and everybody just got used to it. And I'm like, he looked like a young kid before. He was like 20 something even at the beginning. But I thought he was like not even 18 at first. And then I don't remember if I looked it up or if it was the episode when his sister sees him and says something about like even somebody in their 20s can keep growing or something. And I was like, what? He's 20? Even before this glow up? Like, what? Yeah. I just feel like nobody really talks about it enough. It just kind of gets moved on, and I'm like, bruh. I am very curious on how the leveling up works when it comes to him. Like, obviously the leveling up is affecting his appearance, because he's gotten, he's got to go with that. If he's putting so much ability points in the strength, he's of course going to get more, whatever, because he's doing all of that. But it does seem to be changing his personality too, a little. Maybe not massively, but enough that you can tell. But it's hard to tell if it's just because of confidence, because now he's stronger, and so he's kind of changing a little bit, or if it's the system that is changing him. Like, that's the part that I don't know, because it could honestly be he's just getting confidence because he's getting stronger, so he's kind of changing a little bit in that aspect. But it could also be that the system is somehow affecting him in that way, that the stronger he gets, the more he changes. But he still seems to care about people, and still seems to have that, like, aspect of stuff. But it's hard for me to tell either that part as well, because it's like, I feel like he's kind of the same. He's got moments of kind of being the same, but not. Are those all wasps right now? I'm looking at like 5 or 7 wasps right now. Just on my window. And they're all moving. That is terrifying. I hate wasps, just so anyone knows. I hate them with a passion. If one is in my house, they gonna die. because they suck. I was stung by like 2 randomly once when I was a little bit younger. Wasn't doing anything. Just walking outside. I got stung like twice on my hand. 2 little shits. Now I'm also slightly kind of terrified of them too, so that's not fun. What are they doing? Are they having like a 5-way? What is happening? Well, hello. How's it going? I don't like how much they're all like moving. Ew. Alright, that's gross. Oh god, where'd you come from? Alright, I might have to go spray some stuff out there or make my husband do it. One of the 2 things. Anyway. Oh, I can't tell if it's the system or if it's just his confidence going up because of how strong he's getting. I can kind of see it being either one. You know? Like, I lean more towards it's just him getting stronger, so the more confidence is coming up. Because he does still have a little bit of himself. Seems to be JINWOO. Even from the beginning. So, I don't know. So I feel like if the system was changing him, he would really be showing more. I need to understand more about his father. I'm sorry. He's been stuck in a portal for how long again? 10 years? Longer? Is it longer? Less? I don't remember. My brain is thinking 10, but I could be so wrong. We're gonna go with 10. We're just gonna go with 10. If I'm wrong, sorry. I don't remember. I don't fully remember. He's been stuck in a portal this entire time. And then all of a sudden gets out of it. I wanna know how he got out. I wanna know how he got in there. Like, what? I wanna know the story there. Obviously, I know how he got in there. But what happened when he stepped in? I wanna know just everything. Because he's strong as shit. He's probably an S rank. And I'm like, was he an S rank to begin with? Like, when he did the test and everything like that, like, was he an S rank? Or was he kind of like JINWOO and was weak? And then maybe he had an awakening inside the portal as well, and now he's that strong because of that? Kind of like JINWOO? Like, maybe they both kind of had a similar thing happen. It's just he got stuck in the portal, JINWOO was able to get out type of a situation. I want to know more. I need to know more because his father is mind-blowing. Like, he took down an S rank that was trying to kill his son. First of all. And then, he is at the island after everything's done and sees those 2 creature things talking, and then when they leave, it then reveals that JINWOO's dad is there. So I'm like, what? He clearly knows a lot. He was in this specific dungeon long enough that he knows things that even current time hunters don't know. Which is insane. He knows some stuff. He's seen some stuff. And I want to know so bad because he had told Hunter Juan, was it Juan? I believe it's Juan. The one who was trying to kill JINWOO and JINHO. And said, like, what all do you guys know about the portals? And talked about, like, something coming. And it's like, he knows so much from being in this dungeon and this portal and how strong he is. It's like, he knows something sus. And he's probably like, now that he believes that his son might have died, because of what Hunter Juan said. So I'm like, he's probably looking into JINWOO now, too. And maybe that's why he's there. He found out his son was on the island and saw what happened. And maybe he knows. I wonder if he knows, like, what happened to JINWOO. Like, that kind of an aspect or something. But it's so crazy to me. And his mother. That episode had me bawl like a baby. His mother waking up for the first time because of the elixir of life. Like, I was truthfully not really knowing if she was gonna survive or not. Like, I didn't really know if she was actually going to, wake up. I figured maybe close to the end of the show she would wake up. Like, it would be kind of like the end finale or something. So the fact that it happens this early, I'm like, oh. Because that was the entire point he did all of this, was to, you know, wake her up and to bring her back and to try to save her and be able to afford all of that stuff and for his sister's tuition. So he's now doing all of that. He's exceeded in the point that he wanted so early. I was kind of expecting that to be like the end of the show, and it happened in season 2. And I'm like, oh, we're not even done yet here. Okay. Now, and then he's gonna start a guild. Did not see that coming. I thought he was gonna join a guild, or maybe like do a contract where he helps all the guilds. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a portal that nobody can get to for some reason, don't have enough hunters or whatever, he is that option to go step in. No matter who the guild was, whether it's the Hunter Guild or the Reaper Guild or White Tiger Guild or whatever. Like, I didn't actually think it would matter. He would just maybe be like a floater of each of each one. That's kind of what I thought he was gonna do, honestly. But instead he was like, no, I'm thinking about starting my own. And I was like, I beg your pardon? What? Which is awesome. Listen. That's great. Like, that's better than what I was thinking, but I just wasn't really expecting it. And of course, JINWOO helping him is just adorable. I love those two. I love those two so much. The episode where JINWOO says that his brother is, you know, kind of cruel to him and cold, so he's never really felt like they were brothers, but feels like he has a brotherly bond with JINWOO. That also made me cry. That episode made me cry because it was just so adorable. And then JINWOO's reaction of being like, well, then I have to consider you my best friend and my younger brother. And I was like, oh, what? Like, I was not expecting that reaction from him, I guess. From JINWOO to be like, oh, well, okay then, fine. And I'm like, bald like a baby. You know, rewatched it recently with my husband because we had watched season 1 together, but we didn't watch season 2 together because I was reacting to it. So he watched it separately, I reacted to it. So we haven't actually watched it together. So we restarted it over and then watched season 2 together. Started to cry during that one. I was like, no, I'm not crying. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not crying again for the 3rd time in this show. Not doing it again. Very funny. I also really like that episode because he gets drunk. JINWOO gets drunk. He's like, huh? Yeah. It's just very funny to me. Is JINWOO the only player? Because it says player, but is he the only player? Or are there other players that we just don't know about? That's another thing. That's what I want to know. I'm very curious to know if there's other players. Because clearly there have been awakenings before, but never somebody who can level up the way that JINWOO can. That's the part that's interesting to me. They literally say that. They don't think there's ever been a hunter that can level up like he can. So clearly, there's reawakening and then there's leveling up. It's like two different things, apparently. And I want to know, is JINWOO the only player? Or are there other players, you know, in the world? Or is he just the only singular thingy? You know, I want to know something. I also love the Shadow Army. When he becomes a necromancer, I love the Shadow Army so much. It's one of my favorite things probably in this entire show. I just think it's really cool when he does it. You know, when they all pop up. I like in season 2 when they're in the Red Gate with the hunters, when he's with the Hunter Guild, helping with the bags and stuff after doing the mining. And he gets the permission from the leader to kill everybody. And he walks up and he talks about how it's a bad match for the guy. And he's like, and when I say that, and then it like pans behind him and all the Shadow Army start to like rise up and you're like, yeah, go. I get so excited. I get so happy. Because it's just so cool. You know, they're just fun. I love Egress as well. My husband's favorite, I think, is Egress. I go between Egress and the ant. Burr? I think it's Burrow. Might be saying that wrong. Hey, Sparrow. I could be saying that wrong, but I think it's Burrow. Bureau. I'm so bad with names. Anyway, I go between them two because I didn't like the aunt at first. Well, at first, when he was alive, was not a fan. Because he hurt a lot of people. But once he becomes a Shadow Army, and watching him like, what are we doing, Home Skillet? What are we accomplishing here? What are we doing? I'm trying to get in the window, but there's stuff in the way. Go under the table. Go under the desk. Your whiskers. What are we doing? This video was already almost 30 minutes long, and you're just gonna make it longer, Sparrow. No. Hey, we done. Nope. Ah. Yep. What are we trying to accomplish right now? Anything? Little goober. You are such a dork. You just need your own YouTube channel. Is that what we need? I'll start recording you. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? I did like the snow elves. They're snow elves, right? I get it. I either say ice elves or snow elves. I think they were snow elves. I could be so wrong. But you know who I'm talking about either way. His eyes. You could be a snow elf. Snow cat. That's what you are, because your eyeballs. That's what you are. I liked those. I wish he could have kept one. They just would have been so cool as a Shadow Army. I'm really upset he couldn't get any. I get it, you know, you can't let him have everything. But they just would have been cool. You know, at least give him a couple. You know, you don't have to give him all of them. Just a couple. Just a few. You know, they were cool. Alright? I liked the elves. And I liked that arc. I do hate that he had to kill somebody again. You know, that's kind of been a big thing for him right now. But I'm like, he was really picking the wrong moment here. Like, you see JINWOO trying to help and trying to save you all and kill the snow elves, and you're still wanting to take revenge on him right now? Save this for when you all escape, and then have this discussion. But not while JINWOO is trying to fight for his life and all of yours. So I'm like, I don't blame him for killing him, because I feel like it had to have happened regardless. Because he was clearly not in the right mindset. So I'm like, I think it's the same as the ones in season 1. Like, the system, yeah, told him to kill them, but I think it would have happened regardless. It would have been a kill or be killed situation, no matter how you looked at it. I think he had to have. He had to have done something. Like, they were trying to kill him. He didn't have a choice, even if the system told him to or not. Like, it's what had to have happened. And I think the same with this. I think it was, even if the system popped up and said somebody's trying to kill the player, you have to kill him, I think JINWOO would have had to do it. Either or. Because clearly this guy was wanting to kill JINWOO regardless of what he was trying to do, whether he was trying to help or not. So, you know. And Iron is funny. You know, it was funny. I like when they finally killed the boss and he's like stomping on him some more, and Jeannie's like, I got Iron? He's like, stop it. No. Bad. But it's really funny. I love the Shadow Army. I like when he gets that ability because it's just really, really cool. Kind of imply too that he might end up with the girl at the beginning, the healer. I thought he was gonna end up with her. But then once they started introducing Chahayan, like, oh, not her at all. I was incorrect. You can really see that immediately. Like, when he first lays eyes on her, you can see that, you know, thing kind of trigger there. And he definitely showed up to the island raid because of her. I think when she got severely hurt against the ant, I think that triggered JINWOO to show up. Honestly. I think he would have showed up eventually because it probably would have just been difficult for him just to sit there and watch all of them get hurt. But I think her being the first one to get hurt is probably what triggered him to arrive because he deeply cares about her. And you can really tell that. And I like that better because I think those two are honestly kind of cute together. I like Chahan and JINWOO. I think those two are very cute. And I think just seem to fit a little bit more. And it kind of shows a development for JINWOO as well. You know, being with somebody like that, I think kind of shows that development and change of him too, which also kind of makes sense. And they're just really cute. They're just cute. I want that. Cool fights I feel like JINWOO has. I really like when he fights the snake in season 1 because it really shows the development and changing and stuff like that. You kind of get a glimpse of just how strong he's becoming already in this short amount of time. And before his glow up too. It's before the glow up and you're like, dang, okay. And him throwing the sword at the monster that escaped from the portal. Him just being like, I wonder if I can throw it hard enough. And you're just like, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Like, you're definitely stronger than I thought you were going to end up being at this point in time. Which is great. I think the Eagerness fight is still one that can be talked about. It's an incredible fight to me. Even during the fight is really good because just the animation during the fight is incredible. And then even afterwards, when he also has to fight all the knights that come in with the mages and stuff, like all of that is just really cool. Getting to see kind of the things that still kind of haunt him too, like people still kind of looking down on him is still something that haunts him. And then seeing himself, the different version of him before all of this, and was also kind of terrifying. He's kind of a sleep paralysis demon during that part. But it makes sense, though, at the same time to, you know, have him kind of still be, you know, dealing with that. Because he dealt with that for years. Like, to see that kind of still thing he deals with is very, like, interesting to watch to me. But I enjoy it, though, because, you know, he's gonna have some trauma from everything. Like, that's not just gonna go away. Like, to see that trauma still kind of affecting him a little bit is honestly, it makes sense. Right? Makes complete sense. Snow Elves, I think, are still one of my favorites, personally. I loved all of that. The fight scenes was really cool. The animation was incredible during all of that. And I liked JINWOO during the entire thing. I listened to the Snow Elves were just kind of cool looking, too. I don't think the Snow Elves are Hear Me Out, are they? I'm not probably the only one that thinks any of them are hot. I hope not, anyway. I don't think they're Hear Me Outs, but maybe they could be my Hear Me Out, because, listen, the main one, kinda hot, okay? Listen. Bless them. I don't know what you want from me. The last moment of the show, the season, when he goes into that gate, and I think it turns into a red gate when he walks in, and it has all the Shadow Army, like, kneeling, giving him, like, a path and stuff, and he, like, looses his tie, and is like, on to the next challenge, and it's like, it's ringing. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? That's how we're gonna see him last, is looking like that? Hello? They know what they're doing, right? When they do stuff like that, they know what they're doing. You know, like, it annoys me, though. Because he looked so hot. He was hot during that scene, like loosening the tie, and then he's got like the one eye that's kind of like really bright blue, and you're just like, oh my god. And that's of course how they end it. That's how they end season 2, is him looking like that in a red portal. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, like, we're really gonna do this right now. He's hot. And it sucks. He's also very funny. Now, I love JINWOO, though. JINWOO is honestly, I do really love him. I think my favorite in solo leveling is probably Choi. From I think he's the Hunter Guild, I believe. I really like him. I'm a big sucker for fire types a lot of the time. So that's probably why I like Bakugo and My Hero. It's kind of a fire type, you know. But I think JINWOO is probably my second favorite. I actually really like him. I think he's very funny. He has moments of being very funny. I love his story. I love the going from the weakest hunter to one of the strongest. I think is a really awesome story, and I think they do really well at JINWOO's character and his development from the very first episode to the end of season 2 as well, really showing that progression. And I know there's a lot of controversy with like the episode about his mom coming back, and people don't like it. And apparently it's just because of the fact there's no fighting. And I'm like, that was the entire point of him doing all of this. Was literally, did you forget what the point was? I enjoyed it. Regardless of fighting, I don't always need fights. Do I love when something has fights? Yes. Do I always need it every episode? No. I don't. Because then there's not really a point. What's the plot of the show? It's just fighting? That's not the plot. The plot is JINWOO saving his mother, having money to help with financial stuff like his sister's tuition, his mom's treatment, doing all of this on his own with no father. Like, that's the plot. And then, you know, everything that happens afterwards. He probably gets something new. Obviously, I assume the next stuff is going to be like, you know, different. He's probably going to have other plots and other things now that he's got to worry about and do. But to me, I like JINWOO a lot. I think he's a really great character, especially for this show. And I mean, yeah, does it help that he's hot? Yeah. But that's not the only reason why I love him. I love him for so many other reasons. I love his story. I love who he is as a character. Like, being the weakest hunter, but still going in portals and still trying for his family is enough to me. He could have just given up because he was the weakest hunter. Like, he could have done something else. But the fact he continued to do it for his family, even risking his life and knowing he could get hurt, every time he got hurt, he still continued to try. That took a lot to do. And I respect him a lot for doing all of that. So, yeah. I think he's a great character. And he just, yeah. I love him a lot. And honestly, I do love Solo Leveling. I think it's my husband's favorite, like, shorter anime series. He has, like, shows he likes that are longer and then ones that are shorter. And he said that Solo Leveling is his favorite, like, short show. Which makes sense. Because he really likes fighting and great animation and great story. And I think Solo Leveling definitely has that. So I agree. Well, I don't know if it's my favorite, like, short. I really don't know, honestly. That was all of the topics I have for JINWOO. Let me know if I might have missed something, or maybe if there's just a discussion you want to have about it. You can put something in the comments, and I will make sure to respond. If I did miss something, let me know, and I can add it to my list for when I do a part 2, for when either the next season comes out or the show's end, either one. I might do one after the next season, or depending on how many more is left, I could do one just after it's all over. And I will make sure to add anything I missed to part 2 when that happens, so that way we got everything. And, you know, let me know your guys' opinion on stuff. Do you like Solo Leveling? Who was your favorite character? What portal did you like? I said mine was the Snow Elves. Let me know if you had another portal that you enjoyed more. I think my husband liked the orcs. The red ones. I believe is his favorite. That I remember. I could be wrong, but I think that's what he told me. I think. I think. And yeah, you know, I do, again, like I said, I enjoy Solo Leveling, and I like the show a lot. I think it's very fun. I really wish, though, that they did like a, I don't know. I like it. And I'm very excited for next season. Let me know if you're excited for the next season and what you want to see happen. You know, what you're looking forward to. Yeah. And, you know, let me know how much you like the Snow Elves, or not Snow Elves, Shadow Army as much as I do. I love the Shadow Army. Again. So let me know how much you enjoyed the Shadow Army. And I'm going to give the hint or quote of the next character that is going to be next. So I'm not going to tell you the character, I'm just going to give you a quote. And then in the comments, if you read it, if you heard it, let me know who you think it was in the comments. And then when the next video comes out, let me know if you were correct or not on who you think it was. I asked 2 of my friends what quote I should do for this character because I genuinely didn't know. They have both watched the show because of me, so I was like, help me with what quote to do here. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. This is the quote for the next character that I'm gonna do on Anime Simp Hour. So the next one after this will be this specific character. So again, in the comments, let me know who you think it is, who you believe the next video will be about, and then when that video comes out, let me know if you were correct or not. And this quote is, "To have my body devoured by monsters is what I want." Let's see if you can figure it out. That video is going to be fun. I'm going to let you know right now. Gonna let you know right now. So, that is the quote. Let me know in the comments if you got it correctly. And I hope you guys are enjoying the series as much as I have, because I really like making this and kind of having a lot of fun here. And I kind of try to stay with the aesthetic of the character. That's why I'm wearing merch of JINWOO. If I don't have merch of the character, then I'm going to try to just fit the aesthetic as much as I can. Kind of like I did for like Deidara and Naruto and stuff. Shailene. Like, I tried to keep with the aesthetic of them. So that's what I'm trying to do if I don't have merch. But, you know, we're going to try. Maybe if the series starts to do really well and I can afford it, I can maybe do like cosplays instead. Right now, this is the best I can do, but it's kind of fun trying to come up with what to wear. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Anime Simp Hour topic of JINWOO-sung. And like always, I am happy you were here. Believe it.
Anyway, bye-bye.